So yesterday's video, I can't stop thinking about it. It happens to be very, very disturbing to me, the segment about FEMA. Now, people ask me in the comment sections of my videos, why do I always use the word disturbing in the title of my videos? And that is because if you use so many different titles, YouTube is going to put you in so many different algorithms you don't want to be in. And I don't want to use the word conspiracy theory because that automatically makes you a target by YouTube. So I use the next best thing to define these videos, and that to me is disturbing. But with that being said, going back to my previous video, I can't help but think, why would FEMA want to go ahead and set up in Michigan out of all places? Now, I was bothered by yesterday's video for a couple of reasons. For one, FEMA normally does not go to a certain location without reason. They need to have a reason to go out there. For instance, when Hurricane Milton was going to hit Florida, FEMA was already in Florida due to Florida declaring a state of emergency. FEMA was going to go ahead this month and send 350 trucks, supplies, other vehicles, and equipment to Oscoda, Michigan. And you have to remember, for them to do so, it costs money. And from what we know, anyway, FEMA told us they were broke. This was not a training exercise. Michigan State Representative Mike Hoadley came out and said that FEMA met with airport officials 2 months ago, and they conducted a routine review to see if the site could work as a staging area for a potential emergency if ever needed. But again, why Michigan and why now? Especially, like I said, FEMA came out and said that they were low on funds, they were low on money. They don't even know if they could help out in the next disaster. Since you're low on funds, supplies, and equipment, instead of using the funds to head out to Michigan, because that's not free and that's not cheap, use the remainder of the funds to help out people in North Carolina, in Florida, New Mexico, places that are dealing with aftermaths of wildfires like Pennsylvania and New Jersey. But for whatever reason, FEMA was heading to Michigan this month, November. Why? Now, for those that don't know what I'm talking about or did not see yesterday's video, there was a gentleman, his name is Bill Palmer, who is the Airport Authority board member, and he came out on camera and he said that if you see a bunch of FEMA trucks, a bunch of FEMA vehicles heading to Oscoda, Michigan, don't worry, there's nothing to see here. Now, FEMA would not come out in the middle of the day or in the morning. They would head out in the dead of night when nobody's on the road and nobody can really see them. He makes this statement here, and as you can see, he's pretty nervous on camera while saying that FEMA is heading out to Michigan.
There's not much change other than our projects are moving along. Next would be the report, the airport report. That would be me. The airport was just notified that FEMA has chosen the airport facility as a stationing hub for emergency services through FEMA. They will be serving 6 counties in this area, and they will be bringing in some 350 semi-trailers with equipment to park on the base. So if you see a lot of trucks coming into the base, that's what it is. It's nothing to get scared about. They're staging for emergency situations in any of these 6 counties that FEMA takes care of. And Mr. Freeman is in the house. Yeah, that's perfect. And just one other item from the airport. They are working on the paperwork to submit for the grant to build a new terminal at the airport. So that we saw perspective pictures of what it would look like, and it will be fantastic. Yep. It'll be slightly smaller than what we have now, but it'll be a beautiful building. So it's
so we're going to have a big, new, beautiful building with a bunch of semi-trailers parked behind it, huh?
Well, sometimes it'll be a ways away from the terminal.
Fair enough.
Mr. Freeman?
Now, after he makes this statement, people are outraged. People in certain states like Tennessee, North Carolina, and Florida, especially people in North Carolina and Florida, rightfully outraged because why are you sending these trucks to Michigan instead of sending these trucks to us? At the end of the day, this man is a hero. He exposes FEMA's plans early. FEMA comes out and gives a BS response as to why they were heading to Michigan. They said that they were going to spend money to bring these trucks out, supplies and equipment and personnel, to park them for a little bit to see if it would be a good spot if ever an emergency arises, and then they would leave. They were looking for 6 spots exactly to park their vehicles to see if it would just be a good spot for whatever reason. But here's the thing about Michigan. Michigan is either ranked number 2 or number 1. It's back and forth as being one of the safest states when it comes to disasters. So why is FEMA wasting their time, money, and resources to stake out 6 different locations in Michigan just in case an emergency occurs in a state that is one of the safest when it comes to disasters? Makes no sense, right? But here's the thing, and they have been training and preparing for it for quite some time now. You see, Michigan is one of the safest spots for FEMA emergency vehicles personnel to go to when the new Madrid fault line were to erupt. Michigan does not have any major fault lines, but it does normally feel earthquakes. But the earthquakes that it does feel are the earthquakes from neighboring states on the new Madrid fault line. So they are looking for the perfect spot to place their vehicles, their equipment, and their supplies without taking direct damage, but still being close enough to head out to certain states affected by the new Madrid earthquake. Now, I do want to make it clear for YouTube purposes only, this is just my theory. This video is for entertainment purposes only, and I'm not saying this is what FEMA's actually doing. Now, they were heading out to Michigan. They were doing so, but I'm not saying that this was the agenda, right? Now, I mean, they're low on funds, they're low on supplies, but we're going to take whatever we have and head out to the second or first safest states in the United States when it comes to disasters. Now, I know I keep saying that, but that's very important. But how would they know that the new Madrid fault line is ready to go in a very big way? Well, you see, like I said, they have been running constant drills on this fault line as of 2024. More than they've ever done in previous years. And FEMA has actually been crunching the numbers. They've been crunching the totals of how much everything would cost, the disasters, the people that would lose their lives, and so forth. The University of Kentucky created a 57-page PDF that calculates and tells us everything that would occur if an 8.0 or greater earthquake were to strike the new Madrid fault line. And I'll go ahead and pin that in the comment section below, and also pin that in the description of this video. That PDF will be very, very important. So what is the goal here? What is the agenda? Why do certain organizations know that this fault line is going to go well in advance? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at something. This simulation, and like I said, there's been a lot of simulations in 2024 on the new Madrid fault line, computer and physical simulations. But let's take a look at this computer simulation created by the USGS on April 4th, 2024. Taking a look at the simulation, you can see the earthquake starting in Blythesville, and as the earthquake starts to spread out, the heaviness of this earthquake, the intensity of the earthquake starts to fade away, heading in multiple locations, but the brunt of this earthquake, the intensity of this earthquake, the intensity heads directly to Little Rock, Arkansas, South Arkansas. Now, isn't it rather interesting that a month ago, news broke out letting us all know that Arkansas was a giant hidden source of lithium. Matter of fact, Arkansas has the world's most lithium. Looking at this map, this is where the world's most lithium is located. And looking at the USGS simulation of this earthquake, well, again, this is where the intensity of this earthquake will be heading. Is this a coincidence? I don't know. Well, here is a rather interesting article by the USGS, the same USGS that gave us this very interesting simulation. This article was published on October 21st, 2024, a little less than a month ago. It is titled, Unlocking Arkansas Hidden Treasure. USGS uses machine learning to show large lithium potential in the Smackover Formation. The Smackover Formation, again, is located in South Arkansas. Reading from the article, it says, using a combination of water testing and machine learning, a United States Geological Survey-led study estimated between 5 and 19 million tons of lithium reserves are located beneath southwestern Arkansas. If commercially recoverable, the amount of lithium present would meet projected 2030 world demand for lithium in car batteries 9 times over. Did you get that? 2030. And we do know that the United Nations has a 2030 agenda that they are really pushing, and we know that they are expediting the 2030 agenda because the World Economic Forum and the United Nations met in September of 2024 to speed up the 2030 agenda. But make no mistake about it, this lithium is not just for car batteries, electric car batteries. It's also for these smart cities, it's for these robots, it's for a lot of other technology that will be pushed on us, and they really need it for their 2030 agenda. They need a lot of it. So we have this same USGS finding anywhere between 5 and 19 million tons of lithium that will help supply the world 9 times over to help push along this 2030 agenda, while at the same time, they are saying this exact location, they are projecting to take the brunt of the New Madrid earthquake. You can't make it up. You cannot make this up even if you wanted to. And at the same time, you have FEMA, get what I'm saying? FEMA, located in a state, perfectly nestled in a spot to where they can roll out to these states that were affected by the New Madrid earthquakes. Now, again, and I have to make it clear, again, for YouTube purposes only, this is just for entertainment, but at the end of the day, the dots really connect. And there's nothing wrong with preparing. There's nothing wrong with telling people to stock up, to prepare for whatever, right? Even if this wasn't any state on the New Madrid fault line. Let's say you're far away from the New Madrid fault line. There's still nothing wrong with preparing and stocking up. Now, I mean, I can make so many videos when it comes to the New Madrid fault line, and I have, because I definitely feel like something is coming ever since the 2024 solar eclipse, how those 2 solar eclipses, the Great American Solar Eclipses, 2017 and 2024, crossed paths on the New Madrid fault line, just like it did in the early 1800s, right before their series of massive earthquakes. Now, I know some people want to say that it would be California that would experience a massive earthquake first, but the thing is, when it comes to the New Madrid fault line, when it comes to Arkansas, there is a deadline. There is a deadline that they want to start harvesting this lithium no later than 2027. The contracts have already been put in place.
In business than South Arkansas.
El Dorado, a city named for mythical golden roads, became a boomtown for the liquid gold beneath it. But the oil business is drying up.
With the oil industry being what it is and the chemical industry, and we've done that for so many years, diversity is great.
Diversity is more like a necessity. Luckily, necessity is the mother of invention.
To power all the batteries in America's future, we're going to need lithium. Millions of tons of it. Right now, we make less than 5,000 tons in this country. But just like the discovery of oil in this place about 100 years ago, the answer might be a couple of miles below our feet in South Arkansas. The trick is getting it out.
The company said small-scale drilling can begin very soon, but the oil giant expects to be up to full production by 2027. And their claims in the Smackover Formation could produce enough lithium for more than 1 million electric vehicles by the end of the decade.
We are now moving at breakneck speed to become the lithium capital of America.
2 major energy companies are about to step on the accelerator toward.
There are more and more clusters and mini quakes occurring on the New Madrid fault line as of 2024. And if you have not noticed, as of 2024, news and media, not only is there a movie based on the New Madrid earthquake that was just recently released, but if you have not noticed, news and media keep referencing the 1811 and 1812 earthquakes in relation to an upcoming earthquake as of 2024. They are talking a lot about this massive big earthquake and how it compares back to the 1800s. I mean, I don't know. The only thing, the dots are really starting to connect here, and to know that FEMA, they were looking for a hideout spot in, again, one of the safest states when it comes to disasters, but being close but not so close to the new Madrid fault line really makes me wonder. But in any case, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.